Carlos Ferro's character, Dominic Santiago, his brother, Carlos Santiago, and Marcus Phoenix all earned themselves an Embry Star for gallantry in battle at the Asphos Fields. That character you just saw in that nice blue regalia is Nassar Embry, one of the Allfathers.
Can we get Nassar Embry as a character in this game? Because he is so sick. And all right, here we go. Heading here into our second team fight of the game. We did get a restart, so both these squads going into a fresh. It was pretty much a tie game right beforehand. But as we're gonna see, Vanquish here being able to get multiple kills. Picked up one here at the front door, not multiple kills, but now the downs come through after having that man advantage. And Hndles will be able to get the frag grenades up top as well. Xysho gets us down on Demise for the drop shot, and VQ is continuing to down Hive as they're coming out this spawn.
Enemy spotted.
Already in the initial hill again. VQ has won the first 20 seconds or so. Wouldn't it be amazing if they lose this initial and then you see Hive have a kid lag out and we reset it again?
Like, all right, we're going
hold up. I didn't like that. I didn't like how that started. Let me pull that Ethernet real quick. Let me pull that Ethernet.
I would have did it for my reset. Like, you guys got one, now we get one, because this is the worst initial on the side of Hive. Yeah, they had lost the first team fight, but they had won the battle for drop, which got them a little bit of scrap time. But instead, VQ, they win a team fight. They get all the power weapons. They don't make the same mistake twice. And so far, so good, as they're going to start leaving out of here, top center, cleaning up these kills here towards mid-map. And I still think they got this drop shot to utilize as well. Well, no, you don't. Xysho has it on his back. He's about to go down. But I didn't see those nades tossed out from Hndles, but he doesn't have them either. So no power weapons on the side of VQ. They've already rotated towards next, and they got a decent setup.
Hndles getting a little Lancered fire onto him. Precision rotates back into the hill with him now. Xysho has a chance for a big-time flank here. They have to get the call out that he can move up and actually go for the flank. Going super wide is INZEM. He gets first shot on, and great Lancer fire, great secondary rotation by him. Gets that kill on the INZEM, gets the settled out backside of the hill, absolutely under his control, and he's going to time out that player there on the ground so that it takes a little bit longer for them to come back in the retake. It might be 100-0.
It just might be in a second. Maybe a little bit more than that. We got a lot of scrap time on this hill. But Hive, do they want to press up on this one? Because they honestly, they can't. VQ wants them to do that, right? As soon as Hive moves up for that scrap time, VQ, even if they lose the battle, they're going to get some favorable spawns across the map for next. So instead, Hive sets up, battle for the power weapons. They are able to get the drop shot in hand. Demise backs up with it. On screen, Xysho versus Solurs, a battle won from Xysho. INZEM comes in off the flank, takes a lot of pistol damage, runs into Hndles as well, so he gets taken out. And now VQ with 2 kills to their name. They get a chance to move up on this hill and take down TJ and Demise. Double nades to push TJ in an uncomfortable spot. But Demise takes them both out. The drop shot doesn't go deep enough. You know, I thought Demise was going to just run to the back of that spawn with the drop, save it. Just save that for the next team fight. Let TJ die if you can't win it.
Hndles over the top of this cover. He's looking to try to get some help for a moment, and he does, coming from the backside. Xysho, good Lancer out on him. INZEM into the spawn, has a chance to fight here against Precision. Double shot down on a TJ at the front side of that entrance. INZEM now has to wait again. Solurs and INZEM, they're going to be holding down this spawn. That's what they want, is the close spawn location. They're going to try to come through this spawn point. They get the mark on Acells. They know Precision is there. Precision is going to roll back. Trying to take a look here. I think the drop shot should be up in the next 20 to 30 seconds, but you can't really wait. Oh, so, okay, so it's 40 seconds. I was off by about 10. That's fine. I'll take that.
Yeah,
3 pushing through the
you
right
late
side,
for it, you're
end.
out of this fight. It's not worth it to go back. 2 kills come through. It's going to be a 3v2 in favor of Hive. Acells can't even the odds. And now it's just up to Hndles left in the hill with a right hand, taking some shots over the top. That back end blind fire backs up one player. He gets it down. Almost got the double. Great effort from Hndles, but man, that got scary for those Hive members. At the end, he was distracting 2 players for scrap time. VQ taking a 3v2 across the map, trying to make their way to next.
The little kill right there. 2 seconds left. They're going to double Lancer this player. You got to go for a classic Gears 1 body block in this situation. If you're going to go for that pick, you got to have somebody right there going for the revive. Smokes around in the middle of that hill, trying to clog up the sight lines. Not sure if they're going to be able to get anything going. You see Xysho rotating across, going for the 90-degree. If anybody comes back up to that bottom of the stairwell, I mean, this is going to be neutralized for quite some time because Vanquish is not going to give up the 90-degree angle over to Hive. And Hive, I don't think, is going to push across that mid-neutral hill to try to engage that 2v2.
Yeah, if I'm Hive, I'm definitely not going across at all. Well, you have to be able to win one of these 1v1 battles. VQ rotating Xysho over. Yeah, Hive has to quickly know we need to get this guy on the stairs. But I would like to see Vanquish like assess that a little bit early on, maybe keep a mark over there so they pick their 3v2 at the same time. But instead, Hive made the play first, and since they executed first, they got their numbers and they stayed alive. They get the heal, and that's why you die. That's why you initiate the play first at the end. I always like to say die on your own terms, okay? Because some squads just play too passive and too reactive, and they're just defending against so many fights, but they never really come up with a game plan or have a game plan. In the end, Hive knew what they wanted to do, and now they're getting rewarded for it.
Nade out, not gonna find anybody. TJ, drop shot in hand, trying to thread the needle. I like that from Xysho. He sees that that player has to hold that position to try to keep the rocket going. Gets the easy shot over the cover and the kill. 9 seconds left on the hill. It's gonna rotate over to where Acells is already hanging out at. And with that kill from Precision, you've got the mid lane. You've got the actual spawn point. This should be easy pickings.
Yeah, and it's looking like it's gonna be easy pickings. He finally gets taken out. But VQ, with 3 players already at the next rotation, they just need to get their numbers and hold Hive back. They're gonna recognize that we got 3 members, if not all 4, coming through the 1 choke point. So now we're gonna have the Lancers come out for Vanquish, some long range L triggers, a lot of damage and a lot of point blanks. And some kicks as well. VQ, they win this team fight, and they will continue to hold on to this hill. It's going to be Hndles with 10k damage to his name. Precision's above him with 11.
Have you ever witnessed a man as bad as Acells? Like that man, he's different.
Very few.
That man is bad.
Very, very few. The last player of his caliber to really enter our league and shake things up is Powers.
That's rarefied air. That is rarefied air. I think I love that about this team, this Vanquish team. One of the things that has really definitively made them one of my more favorite teams to watch and interact with on a daily basis is the fact that they hear all the chatter. They see it, they hear it, but it doesn't affect them. If anything, it makes them beat your favorite player up more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they use it as be like, you really don't think we can do this? Okay, here we go again.
You got a great culture over there in that Vanquish camp. Not everybody, has that type of mindset and that mentality, match after match, loss after loss, but it's more than just strategy. It's more than just hitting shots. It's things that are happening outside the game for this Vanquish team to be as consistent as they are. So, make sure you guys choose the right teammates, and you guys, think about the culture of your squad early on, and you guys don't evolve into something that's toxic or into something that, is easily defeatable in difficult situations where your back's against the wall and you got players in your squad who's already given up, no hope. None of that describes this Vanquish team, but in this moment, we see them with a strong setup. This Hive squad trying to fight tooth and nail to get back into this series. But they are not equally putting out the amount of damage in which VQ is in every single team fight. And this is as simple as that.
– 29 seconds to go over there for Vanquish. I'm trying to assess. This is one of those weird situations, Blaze, where as a commentator, you want to build a storyline. But Vanquish ain't give you much to work with. You know what I'm saying? Like, they really have not... They haven't given you a lot of reason to pick them apart gameplay-wise. And really, they're playing so well that it's not even like you can go, well, Hive needed to do this and Hive needed to do that. It's coming down more to... Vanquish has hit every goddamn shot they've thrown out of their shotgun right now, and there's not a goddamn thing anybody can do about it. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not. It's not. It really isn't. From hill after hill, VQ has beat Hive on these rotations. Hive has collected nothing but scrap time. Even in this hill where, you see Hive come away with a few kills off the start, VQ, they get in. 2v2. The revive is there. No! Oh my God. If he hit that shot, dude, like no way 2 players is looking at a revive happening in front of him. And that guy gets up for the double kill. In the end, not much time will be picked up. VQ gets back in to contest. A missed opportunity and a missed drop shot for INZEM. Hive now forced to fight with just their flashes and their shotties, as well as Vanquish. But Vanquish said that's all we really needed to come into this fight. We didn't need anything else, as they push through, get the kills on the stairs, and now a 3v2 at the 2 players at the front door. They are gonna make quick work of them as well, and it's a team effort as all 4 players of VQ sitting on a hill for the final 5 seconds.
Stay in touch.
This is one of those situations where if you're Hive, you've got to look at it as you've played Speyer a decent amount and you kind of set the pacing on it. You had some good wins on it earlier in this split, but the last 2 times you played it, Fire and Ice and Vanquish now, I mean, they've handed you your pink slips, my baby. They have asked you to leave the premises, and they ain't even want to call security to get you to your car. They just want you to turn your badge in, go on back to the parking lot. That was not very that was very efficient on the side of Vanquish and not very proficient for the side of Hive. There was a lot of wasted utility in that situation. A lot of players were getting caught out in a lot of situations. That's going to be the thing that I think. That's going to be the thing I think that sets apart what Hive is capable of and what Hive actually does in matchups. When Hive was winning, we saw them play very close together on maps like Reactor, set up. They were within arm's reach of each other. It was a very short distance to cover to get the revive off. A couple of times in that map, TJ by himself in the middle of the map getting lancered from a 45. He gets shotgunned down. Right there, that very first highlight we saw actually, INZEM pushed in the backside of that second P2 by himself. He'd already gotten hit with a pretty big brick from Hndles. Hndles rolls back, pulls the Lancer, and instead of trying to play up on him, INZEM goes wide. He goes wide.
INZEM don't go wide. He goes straight, right? He goes straight. Now, in the end, you know, even though he shoots very straight, you guys, VQ, this team, man, they made this map look so easy. And you know, maybe in the end, this map doesn't suit Hive's playstyle, the openness of it. I don't know, man. Just VQ is just a better squad. You know, I was gonna say that, you know, when it comes down to it, in the openness of the map, it resembles a lot like Regency, if you ask me. VQ able to rotate early, get set up, and then Hive having to come together and be able to, you know, formulate these team fights and use these power weapons and just find some control on the map. It just seems like every objective, VQ was a step ahead against them. All right. Well, that's map number 1. We can see if map number 2 will have us, you know, throwing that one out the bag. If Hive can bounce back when it comes down towards the respawn, towards the single life game modes, and can you give them? Well, do you feel like they have more of a favorite chance coming into this Canals?
Hive has to be a little bit quicker to the punch in that mid bridge. It's going to be very interesting to see how Vanquish sets up their troops there at the mid bridge. Are they going to put Acells in the front spawn, Precision in that front spawn? Who's going to be there first, and how good your utilities are? We have seen some pretty, lack of a better phrase, some pretty horrendous utility usage tonight, both in the first matchup between Oxygen and Rise. We made memes about how Detox kept throwing everything short. Oxygen wasted a lot of smokes in that map number 2 because the smokes were thrown, but Rise still took over the power positions in the middle bridge. I want to see better utility usage out of both of these teams, and I want to see them be able to butt heads a little bit more in that mid-bridge fight. You've got to come together, and you've got to be very succinct in your movement. You got to get up to the top of it and be able to get that guy to miss the first shot if you're not the first player to get unstunned.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. Okay, you know, if not, then in the end of the day, if that mid bridge control goes on over to your component uncontested, you really don't have any chance in hell in the round. You know, you're gonna have to get that bow pick up, get up top towards connectors, get those nades, and come back. But we'll see how it gets played out here, folks. We're about to be headed into Canal soon. VQ versus Hive. And, you know, getting a chance to kind of see Canals in our last matchup. It was a fun one to watch. You know, it went the distance. In the end, Rise was able to, you know, formulate a game plan there towards the end, winning those last 3 rounds. But, you know, when it came down to just the pacing of it, the switch ups of strategy, I enjoyed it a lot in that map number, in that first series of the day. We'll see how our strategy gets shifted up here coming into this second one.
You know,
Go ahead,
Blaze. Go ahead.
No, all I was going to say is that when it comes down to strategy on Canals, there are very few options on the positions in which players can play, but how they switch up their play style in those positions, and deciding if you want to let the guy up top, kind of lead the charge on a fight for nades, or if you want to let the guy at the bottom do it. It's just different ways in which you can switch it up, and you have to be gathering that intel on your opponent every single round on what strategy they ran to last, and be adjusting yours at the same time.
Very much so. I think, excuse me. I really think that right here, Vanquish, what I would like to see them do is try to throw a wrench at Hive. I think Hive is expecting Vanquish to go for the headbutt play early in this map number 2. And that's probably what Vanquish is going to do, but I would love to see Vanquish come out map 2 round 1 with a torque bow strat. Something just to throw the side of Hive off. TJ gets unstunned first, but Precision, again, to sync with his movement, wraps around him, goes wide, forces that missed shot. INZEM all by himself in a 3v1. First round the way of Vanquish, and they have not slowed down.
Man, they haven't slowed down whatsoever. I think Vanquish is one of the best teams at carrying momentum over from a previous map to the next, okay? Because it always feels like they kind of pick up where they left off, and I think that's a great skill set to have, because your opponent they never feel like they have a chance. Like, all right, this first round was supposed to be different. But, hey, in the end, VQ comes out on top, but that's still round number 1. Let's see how round number 2 breaks out. Looking at the strategy happening down low. Precision, he gets his flash up to the top of the bridge for the late stun, but it doesn't come through. TJ with a first blood, trying to protect his teammates. The revive is there. A great bait. He gets down in the last second. Wow.
Hi, my name is Acells, and I do not miss.
That's the momentum I'm talking about carrying over right there. That revive comes through, different round. But the fact that Acells is where he needed to be at the right time, that round sucks worse than the first, all right? And it's just building up here for Hive. Let's see if they can just kind of stop the bleeding as we head here. I love the flash grenade that we saw Precision toss the round before at that angle towards the top of the sandbag, just trying to get that last stun on his opponent so he can come out of his first. The initial damage comes through. Instead, TJ will make the first play. As Solurs follows up, INZEM wins this fight up top against the Acells, and that's an easy cleanup for Xysho. Great round for Hive.
That was a very over-aggressive round on the back mid connector, and I think the reason he tried to push that is Acells knew that he was losing the front middle of the bridge, so he was trying to win the 1v to go for the pinch, possibly. I think what we needed to see out of Vanquish, if you're going to pull up and Lancer out, if you're Xysho, if you're going to pull up and Lancer out, somebody needs to pull up and Lancer out with you, or that front spawn player, instead of going onto the bridge, his job becomes more of pulling the snub and just trying to help you get that first down, because then it slows everybody down. It forces somebody to go in for a revive. It forces that third player maybe to pull up and shoot you instead of trying to get that kill. Precision will get the first shot off, get the second shot in the down onto Solurs. It's going to be a 2v4 situation. It's going to be a 1v3 situation if they can get this kill here. INZEM will pick up a kill, though, so 3v2 now. 2v1 back here, and last alive is Demise. He went down underneath for the torque bow. He's going to get Lancered out and taken down.
Yeah, he gets taken down right there at the end. That's a nice round from VQ. From start to finish there, we'll see what Hive can bring out here to really kind of stop that one. We saw a nice 1v1 one from INZEM up top, but in the end, the numbers were already stacked against them. VQ had already did the work there towards the front of the mid-bridge. Gonna have Xysho here with 5,000 damage to his name, 2 kills, 2 deaths, 6 assists. Solurs is gonna be playing across from him. Solurs got an early flash off. That stunned Precision at the bottom of the stairs. I saw that from afar. That allowed TJ to get up there. And now VQ is forced to play for the kills down low. But TJ needs to be careful not to take too much of the bait of forcing down the stairs. Nice kill from TJ. Better reactions from Precision. And now he moves up, assesses the 2v1, and gets closer to his teammate. The 2v2, Xysho, knowing that he had the most health, he draws Lancer Fire his direction. But that buys his teammate enough time to get the bow.
I don't know what he was thinking. He was going to be able to push up there against both of those players, maybe distract him from getting shots on his Xysho.
But Precision was going to go down low towards the water at first to get the bow himself. Yeah,
I said Xysho's going after the torque bow, my friend. What you think you gonna do? You think you fancy, huh?
He just had to hold him off there for 2 seconds. Now, Xysho with the bow. I thought he was going to put it on that pillar.
Beautiful job.
Puts it on that pillar. He'll block off one Lancer angle for him to get closer to the stairs or get splash damage on the closest guy to win a shotgun fight. It was a hard play to make either way. In the end, great job from Hive to be able to just close off those angles and win that mid-bridge battle. Let's watch Solurs going into this next round because I want to kind of expose that nade that he threw from that last one. It was a great nade, and it was kind of wrap shotted around that lower sandbag, and it tagged Precision before he was able to get up there. That's probably what's been helping TJ win that fight. Okay, that's tossed at the same time.
That's a long flash. I mean, that's from downtown. Oh, Precision had to miss the first shot. That's what, again, this is when Hive has been able to win, when Precision can't make TJ miss the first shot, and that's a hard person to make miss. That's a round you're going to kind of have to chalk up. They need to be able to throw a wrench here. They are just butting heads at this point, and I thought Vanquish needed to be able to change it up once or twice to throw Hive off of their mark. This is the perfect time to do one of those strategies, to try to throw your opponent off his mark. You're tied up. Maybe you go down 4-3, but you've got a few rounds that you can come right back in and win. More likely than not, though, if you do something they're not, and this is what it looks like, they're going to try to come underneath. No, they're coming up. They're going to butt heads together.
A better flash. And there's the shot. There's 3 kills picked up. And that's a better round for VQ. But I think the big thing for us to all kind of take away from this one is that that's a fight in which you can't run away from. All right? It's just at the end of the day, you have to fight it. Vanquish knows that some rounds that they may come out on top, and some rounds they're going to lose, rather if it's your teammate missing a shot, a flash being missed, or just getting outplayed. It happens, but you got to stay the course and just make little bitty adjustments until you are the better team in this moment playing that position. And so from the early flash of Solurs, his comes out just a tad bit before. It doesn't connect though. As you start to see the move up there, Solurs gets some help from his teammate, and now they have a flank on mid-bridge. INZEM's trying to stay alive as long as he can. This is a 2v1, but INZEM lost his fight before his teammates can take the 2v1, and now they're in a 2v2 position, but they will have the torque bow, and they slow it down. I think that's the right play from Hive.
Hndles trying to look over the top. I pulled that snub. I thought they might go for the extra shot on with the shotgun, but they only get the down once there onto Demise. Nade thrown out. Tags one up onto that light post. The second nade is actually a little long. It goes down the stairs. Acells is gonna have to rotate back. Solurs has that shock now. The active bow could be very instrumental in this situation. Acells is rotating out. He is marked up, and they know that he rotated all the way back. 4 bolts left in the quiver for Solurs. Last night, Solurs wasn't very impressive with the long shot. Maybe he will be a little bit more impressive with that torque bow in hand. We are getting close now to the nitty-gritty. Probably less than a minute until that overtime hill spawns. Revving it up, trying to find a shot onto Acells across the map. There's the quick pick onto the shocks. But Acells has to use that to be able to block a player from being in that final hill. Shock thrown out to the front side of the bridge. A little long, though. It doesn't even stop. It doesn't prevent Hndles from being there.
That's a prevents an escape, though. Beautiful headshot from Solurs. Beautiful wrap shot from Demise. They win the 2v2. 2 well-played individual battles. The shock was a little bit deep, but as you heard me say, it did block an escape route, and Solurs took it for what it was, and he made a play off of it. Probably wasn't what it was intended for, but then on the flip end, Demise having to play from a defensive position, knowing that he was going to get pushed after his teammate died, he won that battle as well. So we're all tied up 4-4. Here we go, breaking off into this next initial. Vanquish following Precision. There's the early flash. Precision dodges the first. The second stuns, and he should. TJ comes out right before, and Hive, they're going to eat here at the bottom of the bridge.
Xysho has to go absolutely nutty, buddy, if he wants to try to get this win. Doesn't even get the first bolt to connect, and that's going to be another round in the bank for Hive. They are gearing up for a map number 2 win on Execution Canals. This could be a little bit hairy, though, as the next round, tied up by Vanquish, will intensify that round number 11. It's going to make things a little bit more tightly contested. See if they can come out here and come away with a win. Hive, though, looking to shut it down. I think Hive has done such a better job in that front fight. Their utility usage has been on point. They have to make it happen for one more round. Smoke instead of a flash out of Solurs. damage onto TJ, but not going to be a lot whatsoever. Precision tries to come in through the back. It's tagged up just a little bit. They're trying to wait and bait the wrap shots, and it does not work. It does not come through. 2v4 now in the situation. Closest thing they had to hope was Hndles trying to come on a flank, but he goes down. There's the cleanup kill there. 6-4. Hive, they finish off map number 2 and tie this sucker up 1-1.
Man, in map number 1, we watch VQ keep Hive under 100 in the respawn, but in map number 2, the round-based game mode, Hive, they come out, they win the execution. We're all tied up 1-1, and we're going to Escalation, a mixture of the two, a game mode in which these squads know all too well. Folks, when we come back, it's going to be training grounds. We'll see you guys then. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Pro League Split 3 Phase 2, day number 12. I'm Blaze, and we're joined with the fantastic Colin Crow as we just got done with map number 2 of Vanquish versus Hive, and we're all tied up 1-1 in this series as we're heading into training grounds Escalation. But before we go to that, map number 1, Colin, we saw VQ take it 300 to about 97. Then we come on over here towards the single life game mode, and Hive round after round just evolved to what VQ was throwing at them and dominated the mid bridge. So we head on over towards Escalation. Who are you kind of leaning towards, and why?
I am still leaning towards Vanquish on that training grounds Escalation. They are an extraordinarily good Escalation team. We saw them go from first in a major, then they make a team change. They come up third, but they basically picked up a pure Slayer. They now go in and have picked up a pretty good IGL, somebody that can rotate the troops around the map, and they have reascended to be one of the better Escalation teams. Hive, they're going to be able to stay right there with them, but I think Vanquish might throw a couple of weapon placements out that could befuddle them. I think the thing that Hive struggles with the most, and we saw Fire and Ice do it to him last night on Escalation, where Fire and Ice was, they put a long shot down where Exploits likes to take those fights. And then Hive said, well, if you're going to put the long shot down, let's spread the fight back out and make it more neutralized and put a torque bow down at you. I think Vanquish needs to follow the same series. Vanquish, put a big power weapon down, make it about an initial team fight. Don't let Hive kind of play standard Gears 5. You need to make them uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that one. I feel like in this series, Hive, they should be, if I'm Hive, I don't want free shot grenades for Vanquish, okay? I just don't want them to kind of have that in their arsenal. But on the flip end, they don't mind giving Xysho that retro lancer as well on the map. He'll put out a lot of damage. Now, Hive, that's something that they don't need. They shouldn't worry about too much in those moments. Pick your poison there. But in the end, you want VQ to have to fight for anything and everything in which they can get here in this map. Because I think Hive needs to, their strong suit is going to be these tip of the spear fights for the power weapons in the center of the map. I think that's when they're their strongest, not when it comes down to the rotations and then playing for time and just playing a slower game here. Just get those center line focal points. Now, as we see off the initial, neither squad able to kind of make that play. Your top overlook, each team reloaded. All nades are tossed, but INZEM. Hive is the only team with utility grenades right now in the hands of Demise and INZEM. INZEM pulls out his flash now, trickles over the top. He gets no stun. He takes a lot of damage, but his teammate didn't move up on that either. Instead, they take 2 great shots behind cover. And as they take that fight, they dodge the shots coming in from that other side of the map. I think that was Hndles there not having position. On the flip end, Hive, they win the first team fight, Colin. Now they're looking for that domination.
They are looking for the triple cap domination, and this is what I was concerned with coming into this matchup of Escalation was if you allow Hive to have their team fights, have their standard Gears 5 play, where you're just going to be able to have to go head-to-head with them, toe-to-toe with them. They are very good at that fight. They're extraordinarily fundamentally sound, and they can beat you in a lot of situations like that. So what I think people need to understand against Hive is you've got to make them uncomfortable. You've got to put those power weapons down in places they're not. So I think you need, if I'm Vanquish right here, no matter what they do, bolt talk or not, put something down that makes Hive play the initial differently.
We'll see if that comes down in round 1. VQ, they're going to just start building up their secondaries as well. We might not see something come down center line into about maybe rounds 3 or 4. We'll see how this next initial is gonna look. And you know, unless you really know your opponent and their play style is clear as day based off of aggression and passiveness, probably wouldn't put nothing down center line round number 1 unless you got some game plan that you want to play around it. And you know, in which we've seen some teams do that. But today in the Pro League, both these squads playing it a little bit more towards the standard textbook of Escalation on training grounds. The flashes are out. Wrap shot missed from Hive. Comes around a corner. Beautiful shot from Precision. Comes in with the melee as well. That's 2 quick kills for Vanquish. He puts out a little bit of damage here towards the back, but I can already tell you Precision wanted to run for that home hill 5 seconds ago, but he wanted to make sure his teammates were okay. Now, Hndles, do you want to be the hero? Do you want to win the battle for your teammate? With that back A, he goes into the L trigger, but Demise too composed in cover. There's the Lancer fire. Well timed from Vanquish. He's going to have one more fight against Solurs that he's going to have to win, though.
Doesn't even make it there. That's going to be an easy kill as they drop and hop the cover. That's going to be 1-1 going into round number 3. Just not sure that what they could. I don't know what TJ and the boys from Hive can do differently in that situation. It was a great little right-handed win at the top of the overlook for Vanquish, where they basically played back and allow Hive to play into it.
Yeah, and you know, when it comes down to it, VQ they had played that very, very well too. They felt Hive's aggression, and they played around that, and in the end they hit their shots, and it was a missed opportunity. I believe that was TJ when he wrapped around. But granted, it was a missed shot off his left hand. That's a hard shot to make, even though we see TJ make it time and time again. To play off a team, to play up against a team like Vanquish holding those tight corners in their right hand, and you're making left hand plays. Woo. Especially with that Lancer fire coming from screen left from the heavens. That's not easy, you guys, but we see VQ do it this time around. Precision hits his shots. But once again, the squad with that right hand advantage, top overlook, is going to come out victorious.
This is why I think on going into this 3rd round, this is going to sound crazy to a lot of people at home, even because they won the 2nd round. Going into this 3rd round where you know you're not going to have right hand up top, place a weapon at the U. Give yourself right hand advantage over the power weapon to try to win back-to-back rounds. So then, worst case scenario, you're 2-2 going into the half.
And this is the only position in which you can do it. You won't have that right hand down low at the range. You won't have it towards the middle if you want to put it at the underpass. It has to go at you so you can have your right hand fighting there towards that back lane. But that way you kind of open your playbook to have 2 different options at the top if it's not working out for you. So we see Hive, they upgrade to the shock, and I had said earlier today, man, I don't think you let VQ get their shock, but they don't want it, man. They says, hey, we want to rock out with our Retro Lancer for a bit. We'll dodge your shock on the other end.
I really hate how stale Vanquish has played this place.
On the placements, we'll like after they lose this round, I think they're gonna be biting themselves in the butt because they're gonna be behind a few placements. In Hive, all they have to do is put that shot grenade to good use. If I'm Hive, I'm upset. I feel like VQ's weapon placements are a little cocky against me, and I'm upset that they didn't put that shock there on the other end, that they feel like they can give us a free shock and come away with the victory. As a player, that says a lot, okay? And those players pay attention to little things like that.
Xysho rotated to be off of Rip to try to help his teammate. Sounds smart, but your teammate has to make the call out that help is beyond what he needs right now. Like, you should just be going back.
You need to hold what you got.
Yeah, they're making a lot of boneheaded plays right now.
It's not working out for them, and they've ticked off Hive too as well. So VQ, they're gonna catch. Oh, actually, no, they're gonna pull the fight away from up top. Pull it down low at the overlook, and now they finally put that center line weapon down, in which we talked about beforehand, Colin. And so we'll see if it makes a difference for them. But now was the absolute last round in which you had to do so. You don't want your opponent to get to map point, to get the lead in this series. Here we go. INZEM with the initial Lancer damage. He's able to get some help, gets the down in the back, forces Acells down from the overlook. That allows his teammate to get up there for an L trigger. Nice flash to stun 2, but Acells gets backed up. INZEM can't get his Lancer out in time, and VQ will fight their way through this position.
And that's a big change, though, because of the simple fact that VQ now has a big team fight guaranteed every round over that E-hill. It's no longer a positioning battle where you can wait it out. You can maybe take a secondary fight. There is a guaranteed battle down there. Now it's going to be 2-2 players split across the map, playing defense on both sides. Hive trying to make a decision going into this hill. Good down there. They're going to need a lot more damage, though, because now 3 players have come this way. They're going to need a second down or maybe even a third down on INZEM and try to get 1 kill. Xysho backs up and has picture-perfect Lancer. Thank God he hit enough bullets right there with the hip fire. I was going to say, boy, you better keep on holding that L trigger. You better get that aim out. They slow down the retake. They're threatening the triple cap domination. They're looking to make this 3-2, and they do. They need another round, though. I won't start really worrying about this situation for Hive until we get this to 3-3 and a best of 3, or maybe even a 4-3 in favor of Vanquish. Hive played that first half extraordinarily well, unbelievably well. So right now, I'm feeling this is a good situation for them come hell or high water, because now they're going to have right-hand advantage going to the back side of the U, and they place the torque. They're looking to make this 4-3 right now, or 4-2 right now.
Yeah, I love how Hive have been playing this map so far. You know, they built their confidence up in the first 3 rounds, winning that Overlook fight. And then from there, they was able to get some more confidence from how their opponent was placing their weapons in. Just the advantage of their shock. That was a quick round number 4. And even though they lost the last, placed him with the torque bow. Was able to help get them back in it. Kills traded. Nice spread from TJ. Xysho wins the battle. Precision's going to come in and fill in the gaps. The torque bow's still in play. And that's going to be a kill acquired on Solurs. TJ goes down as well. And now all power weapons in the hands of Vanquish. Now they just got to get set up, play their time, and see if they can get this one all tied up 3-3.
Looking for anybody that they can find and poke out here. What it's going to be is you're going to see Hive have to mount up another 3-man push coming across the middle. Really? Word?
Trade you.
I think that's right.
Okay.
Do that.
It was just the way that he did it for a second. He was like, "You want this?" And it was like, "Nah." And then he was like, "No, you sure you want this?"
Sure. Like, all right, give me the scope. I'll take it. I'm
not gonna lie to you, Blaze. One of my favorite things, as bad as I am with scopes and stuff in this game, one of my favorite things is finding it on a respawn and then picking it from a teammate that I know is extraordinarily good with it, and having the other team have to watch me run across the map just to take my teammate a sniper rifle. I'm a delivery service.
I'm about to go give it to the real shot shooter here. Now Xysho misses 2 there. Still has 1 more left in his clip. He's gonna save it for but honestly, the best moment which you can use. The 1 shot goes a long way. He misses the body there. But VQ, they have a lead. They're going to have their home hill as well. Now on the flipping for Hive, they're going to have Overlook. 2 players over there and 1 at Heaven. Hive is currently in a defensive setup. They got what they want, but they don't have the win conditions, so they don't got enough.
This is gonna be pretty intense, honestly.
This ending, yeah.
Because Hive is going to have to get
a hair or 2, right? Hive can wait for the last second if they just want to play for a decap.
I'll take that.
That decap strategy is so strong.
There's the long shot. I was going to say, TJ is hanging out in that closet, and I was like, oh, he's waiting for the long shot. Because they're going to try to get TJ to get a body shot with a long shot on somebody trying to keep that fight going at the F-Hill.
The fight is broken out. VQ knows that they can't turtle. They don't have any success trying to turtle off the 1 hill, so they tried to quickly assess the 2v1. They did just that. The body shot into the snipe doesn't get the down.
Even if he went down, though, he would have been able to cap the E-hill right back up just being downed. It would have forced that player into the area of the shock or the retake. Great play by Vanquish. Beautiful job not turtling up, knowing that offense is their best defense for their genetic makeup, and they tie it up 3-3 going into a best of 3 now. This will get a little bit more interesting.
It is, because I will tell you this, man. 95% of the teams that I know would have turtled there. They would have said, okay, we went off of 1. Just win this next team fight, okay? We have 2 points to look at. Just win this next fight. But the entire time your opponent's talking about it, they're picking up power weapons, they're picking up nades. They're not necessarily even playing for the trip cap domination. They get the decap. They just need to make sure you don't cap it after that point and win off the 2 hills that's behind them, because they know that everybody else is in front. VQ, they says, you know what? We're going to find a 2v1. They won that And then they found themselves some more positioning, which ruined the play that their opponent was coming up with for so long. Off the start, Precision goes down. TJ with the cleanup, gets some help from Solurs. They'll be able to get that snipe, but they lose the fight at E. Torque bow in the hand of Xysho, hits the ground. Oh, sorry, so torque bow in the hand of Acells. He gets taken out, and I think that bow may even, it goes on over to Hive. So they got the setup that they want. They got both power weapons this time around. We'll see if they can get the map lead.
Vanquish is probably going to have to go through the home hill. This is not a good play for them.
I think they need to do at least a 2-2.
Stop it. Vanquish, stop it.
Don't smoke.
I like the smoke, though.
Well played shock.
Okay.
Yeah, well played shock. One gets up. Xysho gets it down. Acells finds a kill. This player is weak across. Flank is coming in. Yeah, just get the bow on the wall. Splash damage only here. But that player can't come off he comes off a cover, but from there, INZEM can't get a shot. I love the disengage with TJ from the bow. Give up the overlook. You got the heal, play lower. You know what objectives your opponents are going for.
2-1.
He stays at top overlook. He's pretty much axing the default.
2 of them are up there.
Yeah, two VQ members, and I think this is the best place for them to be from their position of being able to have to contest this. Get as many angles towards his back view as you can.
All they have is a smoke in Acells' hands, by the way. And Acells is on the opposite side of the map. This ain't looking good for this.
They got 2 power weapons, though. Well, oh, my fault. Sorry. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think that this was kind of... Yeah, this was kind of a lackluster retake by them. Acells throws the smoke and uses the smoke to get up into the face of Solurs, but Solurs, he's too smart. He's not going to play up into you. He's going to play back with the Lancer out. He's going to make you make a play on him. He gets that kill. That settles this round right on down. That's 4-3. Hive needs 1 round to get a victory and go up 2-1 over Vanquish.
Yeah, big 2 kills coming out to start to kick off this round from Solurs and TJ. They won the battle for snipe. From there, it was a quick rotation to towards the hillside for them to be able to clean up the kill on the bow and get set up. So nice team fight won by them. When we're coming towards these round-based game modes, Hive, they are surviving and they're kind of thriving a little bit here towards the middle portion of our series. I gotta say, they currently have the momentum in this 1-1 tie. Vanquish, the pressure's on them in this moment. I don't think they'll officially feel the pressure until they lose this map, though. I just think that's how it is. I think they lose this map. Vanquish, man, their back's against the wall. We'll see how they play, but they're foolish if they don't feel it here in this moment, because the way that Hive has been playing, quick torque bow pick up. Xysho gets sniped, but I love this rotation. The torque goes to top of cover, maybe plays for the roll, gets the kill. A down's gonna be at the underpass as well. That kill is cleaned up because TJ went for the right rotation to get behind these members, and I like that play by him getting behind. Oh no.
Body
great
shot.
effort.
Oh, that's a great torque pick. That is so
Better
good.
shot.
Like, even with the
Better
body
shot
shot
from
from the
INZEM.
long shot, INZEM has shut down 2 straight players from Vanquish trying to rotate around. That's not that great of a bow. But this is still early in the round. They still have the long shot and 4 shots to play around with. I think INZEM has thrown 3 bolts out, so I believe he only has 2. He does only have 2 left. This is going to have to be a good little split push here. I think they're going to have to try to pull INZEM out of cover. He goes for it, waits for the slide. Just picture perfect. My man.
That's the best way.
4 out of 5 bolts. 4 out of 5.
Connected on.
That is just
That's a lot of
glorious
kills.
accuracy.
That's perfect.
This should be the map. I don't see Vanquish causing some kind of massive collapse here for Hive to win this round. And Vanquish right now struggling on all fronts. I think I saw somebody, Xysho, with only 3 kills and 4 assists to his name. Somebody I think only had 6 kills. Whoever was in second place, we're about to break out into another retake. Smokes are out. Shock will stop them for another 10 seconds or so.
And, you know, Xysho is 3 and 6 here. 11,000 damage, though. Over to 7 rounds. Misses the shot there on INZEM. That's a 2v2 fight top overlook. It's a 1v1 at the home hills. And then Xysho is trying to keep TJ distracted here towards the back. It's the body shot through the limb. Now, a quick 2v1 on TJ. He misses his back A. He goes down quickly. Has some Lancer fire behind him from Demise, I believe that is. It doesn't matter in the end. It's Hive working together. They are able to get the E-Hill back. The 1v1 from Hndles. He has to play with Demise in this situation on the side of the map. As Demise says, I'm just going to stay alive and wait for help to come. That was the perfect play. And this was a fantastic map from Hive to lock in map number 3 and take the lead in this series 2-1. I said that every series may go down to game 5 today, Colin, but man, I didn't know I was going to be right.
Right now, you well on track to get there. I know Rise ends up
on track.
You're on track. Rise gets you that first match under their belt with a pretty dominant win in that map number 5. Vanquish, they need to win this control, which we talked about earlier. Vanquish might have the best record in control right now across the entirety of the Pro League, which could get them to a map 5 execution. I just think one of the things that I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Vanquish is underperforming in aggression, which is something I never thought I'd hear myself say. They are not playing up into Hive every single fight that they can. And I don't know if it's because they're trying new things, if they're seeing if they can test the waters, but right now it is really causing them to be down 2-1 in this matchup.
And the question is, why is that? Because, you know, in the first few rounds here, I just think Vanquish got outplayed in that Overlook fight, right? And, you know, both these squads kind of played into their right hands a lot. Now, Vanquish losing that round number 4, putting it 3-1 in favor of Hive. From there, they turned it up. They got us tied up 3-3. But then once the power weapons, I guess, got put down, they just could never find their footing. The sniper battle down low, I feel like, for the most part, well, that fight was 50-50. The fight at both, for the most part, went in favor of Hive. And they had good overlook control throughout the entirety of the map, and VQ could never get that. I agree with you on the aggression, Colin, because I feel like VQ kind of played it slow. Some battles they didn't take. And, you know, we'll see if they can switch it up here in the control and pick up pace just a bit. The Hive, man, they've had their numbers so far.
Hive has had their number, and the Hive has played really great offense right now as a unit. This is the thing that they didn't get to do last night. They were very much scattered out. They were not allowed to take team fights in the fashion that they have been tonight, and we see a 6-4 and a 5-3 because Hive is doing fantastic in staying together, in playing closer to one another. Last night you saw Fire and Ice keep them very spread. You kept Fire and Ice kept Hive off kilter, kept them away from one another, and didn't allow them to play together like this. And it was a rough outing for them. And here tonight they start off with a pretty rough outing on control. Don't even get to 100 points. They get 200 point club theoretically. And then all of a sudden they just bounce back like it never even happened. Map 1 was just a thing of the past to them. 6-4.
He shook it off.
And then 5-2. I mean, just glorious.
Just absolutely shook it off right there. So Hive, man, you know, because we would have saw, if you guys would have watched that first map, it would have been like, are they here to play? You know, at this point, I'm just asking, maybe they picked map number 1. So I'm not saying that they, you know, it was like their opponent's map picking and like, all right, they're really good at this map. Let's just get this one over with. Nah, bro, they went into that with a game plan. They picked Speyer and got their butts kicked. So for them to be able to regain in maps number 2 and maps number 3 says a lot about Hive, but we have to move on over towards the district control. Now, luckily for you Hive fans out there, district is going to be a more close quarters map than Speyer or a map like Regency. And because of that, maybe Hive can set the pace of that controlled chaos going from fight to fight, taking their numbers, controlling the power weapons. And through that could be their win condition here. And I say it that way because very rarely I see a Hive that plays slower with their Lancers out and they're playing more methodical. I just don't see that Hive on a consistent basis. So I'm going with seeing the latter there, the more aggressive Hive on this district map. And I think that's what they need. On the flip end, after seeing these last 2 maps from Vanquish, Colin, what do they need to do in this district to be successful?
Control the power weapons for one. Vanquish, once the 2 power weapons were put onto the map, they had a harder time controlling both of them. They came away with a sniper once. They came away with the torque bow once. It was only 1 out of those last 4 rounds that they had both of the power weapons at any given moment, whereas Hive did it almost continuously. Coming into this district, you've got to be able to control that boom shot incendiary side of the map. those are so overpowered for what you want to do in your setups that you need to be able to control them. Xysho's going to take up residence in the info. Solurs will call him out, and he's going to get tagged up just a little bit here. I love the over-rotation. Demise takes himself out of the early fight at the cinema to have the 90-degree angle and the incendiaries on Xysho in the middle of the map. They know now that they can get the power weapons and get all of them in their favor. Boom, incendiaries, and then rotate in and take over that first hill. They give up 18 seconds to Vanquish, and then they absolutely mop the floor with them.
They came back with a vengeance right there. 44 seconds left in the hill. VQ spawning down low at the bandstand. No nades, no boom. No nades, no boom. Now, as VQ starting to rotate 2 players up mid-map, they're going to lose one backside arcade. So those 2 players in juice, they cut through the middle, and they're going to try to get with Xysho on the hill, which I think is a great rotation. With that player going towards the back end of the other spawn, that drew a lot of Hive members on that side of the map, and EQ quickly assessed their numbers, and they knew the play to make. So they bully Hive off the rest of that scrap time. The VQ needs not get lost for that. And actually, I'll take that back. Solurs still has that boom in his back pocket. New boom comes up in 60 seconds as well. Let's talk about a perfect time to use it.
Playing around each other a little too close. INZEM gets a big first brick on his Xysho, but he can't finish the kill. Xysho will have the win here on the top side of the juice. They've given up the bottom control of the map, so they might have given up the incendiaries over to Hive if they're not careful here. They need to get this neutralization. They got 20 seconds. They've got to be able to push Hive out of this position here in the next 20 seconds or so. Because if they don't, the incendiaries are going to force them out of that stairwell and out of position, and they're going to be able to continue to rack up more points in this to try to extend that early lead they got on the first hill. Hndles going literally light years across the map is going to get picked up by INZEM here momentarily.
Now this hill's a stalemate, but VQ knows the play that's coming out. They even got 2 Lancers watching Demise, trying to not let him get out the center. But where he is, he can get that first toss out if he needs to. Gets Acells off the cover. Hive will start to collect points. What's the spread on that? About 7-8 seconds.
I think it's
enough to get a boom shot.
I'm going to say it's 10 seconds, I think.
Now he needs to get ready for the second nade, but he brings it a little bit closer, takes a different angle. He will connect with the kill, and now they continue to connect. At this point, you leave one there, you go play for the next hill. You go play for positioning. I like the flank. I even like the usage of making their opponent use the boom, because if your opponent has a boom shot and you know where he is, it's 20 seconds of scrap time there. Force him to use it now so he doesn't have it for the most important moment in that rotation, in that next team fight. Utilize your scrap time wisely.
Set up over the next hill. Hive is going to have to push into the defense of Vanquish. And this is the first time that Vanquish really has a good setup early in this map, or early in this hill time. It's about to spawn up. No incendiaries to use, no boom shots to use, but Hive does have the positioning just outside the front door. Hive will be able to sit there and keep it neutralized, which is what you can see right now. INZEM has the ability to just hang out there and not get peppered up whatsoever. Precision has to bounce around. Nobody can make a move just yet for the side of Vanquish, and Hive have the utilities to use here. INZEM will have a flash as well as Demise. Precision handles Acells and Xysho. Xysho's the only one without a utility. Hndles will use his to get a stun and push them out. He's going to use it to get up onto that map.
play.
He's going to go down, though, because TJ has the 90-degree. That whole situation is dependent upon somebody keeping
Xysho,
keeping TJ from having the 90-degree. Once TJ...
Xysho left the angle open right there for him, and, you know, he's got to distract TJ, especially if the play was called out that VQ was... It felt like Hndles was trying to time his aggression with Hive's push. Just kind of put a wrench in their plans, do something that they wasn't expecting. Great timing, but that Lancer fire from screen right from TJ at the bottom of the hotel just completely stopped everything in its tracks. So in the end, great team fight as a whole from Hive. They get that hill back. They're collecting on the rest of the time. They still have the lead in this control, and they're playing against the best control team in our pro league, against the #1 seed, against a squad who has only lost one control up until this point. Hive, they have them almost 100 points. this is just getting started, folks. Okay, it's first to 300, and now with the boom shot and heal precision, I don't know if I like his forward positioning here, but he's gonna just have to kill the first person he sees.
Cells, I mean, they are putting themselves in some of the worst spots and situations I've seen them put themselves in at all in Pro League. Precision's caught in this back cubby corner now. He's going to get angled out quickly. Xysho looks like he tried to throw an incendiary over the top and the backside to help him out to try to get one pick, but now he's by himself in the back of the bandstand. Nobody's here to help him. Back A gets one kill. 2 players from Hive pushed out to the right side. Inside of the info is Demise. They got to worry about that, but Demise will go down very quickly. Now the last 2 players from Hive, they're going to get lancered out a little bit. Wrap shot attempted by Solurs, not going to be able to find anybody. TJ will try to get his hand back into the safe zone behind these boxes. They're going to angle him out, go wide, take him down. They're going to continue to hold over this hill. Pretty good hold thus far. They're going to get a lot of points back in this, cut the lead in half and more with whatever time they decide to accumulate on this. 30 seconds on both of the power weapons. I think you stay in this hill long enough to try to get those next power weapons. Even if Hive over-rotates to the Pergola early, you have a better chance at a retake if you have Incense, if you have Boom Shot.
Yeah, I agree with that. Stack up on your power weapons as long as you can there. Beautiful back A from Xysho in that last team fight. That's what got VQ majority of those points there. And Colin, you mentioned positioning. VQ's positioning has not been scary, and even that positioning that Precision had with the boom, I'm playing against them. I don't think you're scary with that one. I know you got to hit one of us, so you might as well hit us now. But being in the back lines with that boom shot, let's say they had that boom shot over towards Hotel there. And they were set up.
You got to be kidding me, Vanquish.
He's okay. He'll be okay.
But why would you put yourself in that situation? Why work harder, not smarter?
You got to get that call out a little bit sooner. Here comes the team fight. Double kill from Acells. Precision takes out Solurs, and a boom shot is still on the back of Hndles.
It's just worrisome because I picked him, but VQ right now is not playing smart. And that's not something I'm used to saying this split with how good they have played. Teams are slowing it down against them, and it's exposing some of the weaknesses that they have. It makes them play a little bit smarter. Kill across the opposite side of the map, flashes out. They gotta worry about Xysho having this 90-degree angle. 2 players playing back into the juice. I don't think they have a chance really to push in yet. Solurs might have the first push, but he's gonna go down. Good Lancer fire from the middle of the map, gets it down there in the middle. INZEM almost catches Hndles slipping, but great 3 kills right there. And 2 back-to-back great holds on P3, P4 will get them not only the hill cap lead, but these revives are going to give them positioning over this next hill. They need to stay here, though, for the instance, because, again, they need to do what Hive was doing to them earlier. Wait for the incendiaries and keep them off the stairs.
Agreed. And so VQ, knowing that, hey, they got as much positioning as they want in this moment, player 5 will follow up here towards the bandstand lane to make sure his squad can't get flanked. But I love what TJ just did. During a time of scrap, knowing what his opponent was waiting for, he's going to get on towards the other end of the map and take his numbers to really force VQ to have to make some difficult decisions here on this side of the map. Now, VQ could have possibly taken a 3v2 up there towards the top of the stairs, but that would have been a bad play, especially with those players having so much death. As long as they're getting points, they're okay. Hive has moved in to contest. With 2 power weapons coming up, they win the fight for Boom Shot. And with having the Boom Shot won, they can rotate it down low, get these kills, or win the battle for the incendiary grenades, and that's exactly what Hive did. I love them slowing that down. I love TJ's rotation, and they didn't give Vanquish the fight in which they were expected.
30-some-odd points differential. If Hive were to stay here the entirety of the time, they will catch up and take possibly a lead. INZEM has to get picked off here. I think with 30 seconds left on this hill, I think you push at him. You try to get him to use the boom shot of the incendiaries before that next hill spawns at the top middle where that cinema is. You got to try to get him to use some of this utility that he's got on his back. You see him trying now to push up on precision. Great down, and a kill here could be catastrophic because now you don't have any more power weapons. Solurs is inside of the bandstand, or inside of the cinema by himself. Looks like Vanquish has 3 players in the area. Solurs will pull back behind that light post. TJ has a 1v1 opposite side by Xysho. Solurs might get turned and burned right here. Xysho wins the fight, and they do try to turn on him. They get the down. Team revives coming through from both squads. Solurs over the top of the cover. Great little down there. Again, they can't clean up these kills, though. Vanquish having a really rough time cleaning up these kills. Big back out by Acells will get one. He'll get the second as well with the meat shield. They finally clean them all up. They get 3 kills back to back to back. Looks like Precision is going to wait down at the bottom of the map. If I was Precision, I'd actually stay there for the verticality. It'll throw somebody off kilter. Plus, they got to get the call out that they're coming from both sides. You got to be able to pick up a chance to get. You got to pick up a chance to get it down here and stop that push up.
Precision gets smoked out here towards the window. With the flashes thrown from Hive, they move into the hill. With Xysho holding down the front, he gets one, gets taken out. Precision finally makes it there towards the flank, but it's Hive who wins the battle. Instead of playing for their scrap time, they will start to rotate towards next. Actually, I just think 2 players just kind of had the same decision in that moment. There's 23 seconds left on the hill. Hive, they have positioning down low for Arcade as well. As they're collecting the scrap time, that player that's collecting the scrap time is being super useful with that Lancer there towards the middle. EQ gets the boom shot, but now they gonna get it the boom shot where it needs to be. It's right where it needs to be, actually, down here at the bottom of the hill. But we'll see what VQ can get off of this one, because from Arcade Hill all the way, the next rotation after this one's gonna be up top in the top left-hand corner towards Hotel. Hndles is watching this flank. And then TJ, once again, when it comes down to these bottom hills, he's making sure that he forces a fight, at least on the opposite end of the map somewhere. I like that.
Precision has the call out there on the player kind of come through the middle of the map. 2 players also coming through. A beautiful little incident by Hndles. Almost comes away with a double kill if he could hit that next shot. Solurs is going to try to take up residency at the backside of the box. He's going to go down from the big cross. Split spawn for Hive right now. They have the ability to try to push in from both entrances. TJ will be coming from one side. Demise will hold down the stairwell to try to buy time for his teammates. Precision's going to get called out in the middle of the map. Thankfully, the juice fight is there, and the juice shot is on. Gets the down. Solurs can push in now with TJ through the bottom side of this hill. They're going to try to come around the backside of this luggage. Shot over the top. TJ almost goes down. Solurs full red. TJ has to move in for the revive, but beautiful little shot around the corner by Hndles. Excuse me, Acells will get the kill. They'll get the double kill. Demise last alive for his squad. He has to scurry away. 35 seconds on the new boom, 45 on the new incendiaries, and now that next hill will be spawning up over at the ATM.
Yeah, great fight one there by Vanquish down low at the ATM. Big kills being picked up, and they have not slowed down yet, folks. Able to find one there towards mid-map. Player 7 has the most advantageous position to help VQ win this team fight. He draws some attention. He lets his squad know that he has pursuers, putting out as much damage as he can, trying to get the right weapon out. A few misrolls. He panics. He gets cleaned up, but INZEM will be able to hold the line. Him and Solurs, they get back in time. They're going to lock in an ATM hill, but now they got to cash out on some points. They won't be able to win the game, but they can possibly tie if they get all the time, but I don't think they get all the time.
It's going to be hard to get all the time. They also have the boom to be able to rotate over to the next hill. This almost, to me, seems like a situation where you give it up. You've got the bottom half of the map right now, and you force Hive to make a play into you. Because then if you get a wipe, you play up into the hill. Great, fantastic. You win it here. If they don't play up against you, you just set up at the bottom side of the map, try to get a couple of kills off spawn, and force them to play into your next hill while you have all of the power weapons.
And I think that is a smart call, especially with how VQ lost the first team fight at the beginning of the hill. Hive was able to spread out from the swarm spawn all the way towards Pergola on that top end of the map. They had every angle covered. And so that meant that VQ had to go in multiple different directions, you know, to be able to break that, right? Now they do make it into the hill in the final few seconds. They win off of this. They win off of this. It may not be a second hill unless Demise gets the 1 second contest that he needed. Now we do have to go on over towards Bandstand.
One more fight right here for Demise to try to get that kill. 10 seconds or less on the hill. Precision staying here just to try to threaten the possible point pickup. They get the downs here at the bottom of the map. It's going to be up to INZEM to try to push back in. See INZEM, he's going to go for the wide flank. Here comes the next spawn. Smoke is going to be thrown out. Acells waiting in the back cubby corner. Shots on to Xysho from the backside. INZEM will help get that down. Now he's going to back A out onto Hndles. Hndles will clean up that kill. Pulling back into the hill now. 2 players from Hive have to stay in that area. Tick, 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 tick. 4 seconds to go. Any kills are good kills for Hive. They need to just try to get 1 or 2 more cleanups. Xysho misses the shot there. Big cleanups coming out. Not enough time, though, on this hill to win it for Hive. But the boom is up in the middle. INZEM with the pick, has the boom, and Cinearies will be up here momentarily.
4 seconds for VQ to win this one. That's all they need. And I don't see anybody in the hill right now. Well, there they go. As we got multiple battles fighting on the outskirts of the hill. Boom shot connected. Xysho and Hndles go down. It's up to Acells. He'll be in bandstand. He is taking, Precision's in bandstand. He takes out 1. It's 2. Oh, miss rolls. What? Does he create an opportunity for his teammates to win it in this moment? He did find 2. It's a fight in the mid-map. Hive, they win that battle. With a wrap shot, VQ could win this game down low, but instead, you don't want to risk it like that, folks. TJ hits a full spread. INZEM cleans up the kill, and INZEM gets 2. VQ does not get the points in
VQ
which
spawns
they
below
need.
Pergola. It doesn't matter. There's a full minute before the next boom comes up. They've got most of the utility out from Hive. Now Hive have to make a mad dash across the map. They have to use what's left of their utility to try to get into the Pergola. Less than 10 seconds. This could be still in Vanquish's hands. 3 seconds to go.
They push out the fight.
That's exactly what they got to do. Offense is their best defense. Offense is their best. There it is. Easy.
That was the perfect play.
They over-rotate with weapons to the first hill. They over-rotate in after getting 3 kills, and then they over-rotate to Pergola. That's the situation you put yourself in with that big of a point lead. Vanquish, they have tied the series up 2-2 here with Hive. We will be going to a map number 5. Can they finish it off at execution, or will Hive stand tall? Find out right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gears Pro League. We are about to head to another map number 5 in our second series of the day. Who would have thought? It's VQ versus Hive, and today's matchups have been so close, it's not even funny, folks. You can flip a coin to decide these ones, but we got to head into Tomb Execution. And so far, Colin, when it comes down to this story between these two teams, VQ have been winning the respawns. They took both control maps, and they had to struggle a little bit on the second, but they managed to regain control of the map and really get back in their favor and close it out the right way. But when it comes down towards those round-based game modes of execution and escalation, it's Hive who's been coming out on top. Why do you think each one of these squads is as dominant as they are in their respective game modes?
Hive has actually been even good in the respawn game modes on their initials. They won both maps' initial hills. That's what the story of this has been. Escalation basically broke down to whoever won the initial. Hive won more initials than they did. On execution, Hive having more first bloods there in that mid-map bridge, giving them basically the initial over to them while they had those first bloods. Hive is just playing better in the early rounds, the early goings of these rounds, and that's what's giving them a decided advantage to try to close them out and get the wins on them. I really do believe that there is a chance that I do believe there is a chance here for a Tomb Execution to go very deep, simply because Solurs struggled with the long shot last night. We saw that TJ was an absolute force with the torque bow, so you know that Hive is going to favor that torque bow still. The big 1v1 is Solurs over the long shot. Based on who plays up against him, that could sway. But do you take Xysho out of the secondary support player spot at the torque bow? Because Xysho's been playing that mid position that either rotates down to help Lancer for you or comes straight into the torque bow for a 2v2 there. Hive, we already know. Last night, based on how they played against Fire and Ice, they sent 2 players torque every round but 1. And Fire and Ice was able to find a way to pick them apart in a lot of different situations. Against Vanquish, do they send 2 players down there every round to try to get the pick on it? Or do they go man-up defense right now?
Oh, man, you know what? If I'm going to flip in for VQ, I'm going man-up defense to start, especially if Hive is is going to be sending that extra aggression down low towards the Torque Bow. Those two players, I don't like the main Torque Bow pickup unless you really got a Savage in your squad, just because all the height advantage and the other power weapons, the nades, the shocks, everything else is on the top side of the map, right? But the Torque is so lethal, so deadly, and you know, it just comes down to who can really get first blood and who can hit their shots. Hndles there down low towards the middle, gets angled out. Acells is going to have his back here. Also on the flipping end, Xysho is getting pressed by Solurs at the top end of the map. He loses that sniper position. Acells can't get the damage in which he needs. Precision goes down. Now it's up to Xysho to be a hero, and he cannot in this round. That's going to be a team ace coming out here for Hive.
Hive wins that in sweeping fashion. Great job by them. They get the first round again. Hive's initials have been too strong for Vanquish all night long. They're looking to close it out here in a map number 5 on Tomb. It was a great initial. They found the extra damage from multiple angles, able to get the downs, able to convert those kills as well. As we come in, as we come into map round number 2, 2 players from Hive going back down to the Torque Bow. The extra Lancer fire onto Precision will keep him back for a moment. Now that player re-challenges mid-map against the Cells. Hndles can't find the extra angle there. Hive really has some nerdy angles right here. The way that they're able to pick up extra shots onto different players has made this extraordinarily interesting. Acells is going to try to push up against Demise for a moment. Precision, he's going to get picked off, though, right there in the middle of the map in front of God and everybody. DJ saw the opening and flew at it. Now the quick kill from him gives him a 4v3 advantage, but answered back by Acells. 3v3 now, marked up on the map. Hndles plays up towards Xysho. 2v2 top side of the map. Acells trying to hold off the Torque Bow of TJ. TJ actually hits that cubby corner. Active bow out. Acells pushes it. The over-aggression very well used to his advantage. INZEM goes down. It's up to Solurs in a 3v1. Bounces around, but gets taken out. Answered back by Vanquish, 1-1.
Even after the first blood, man, VQ managed to stay composed mid-map. Hndles comes through. He wins the battles up there towards the top side by him. And we're also with the help of Acells there towards the middle. They just managed to hold the line and get that damage out and find themselves a kill. Good job to them. Let's see how round number 3 is going to break out. But so far, man, TJ has been really taking over down low at the bow against Precision. We'll see. It looks like they may play it a little bit tighter. Go in. TJ got focus fire off the start as well as Precision. So that forces them to be a 2v2 fight. The first flash goes deep for VQ. They isolate TJ, and now they are able to 2v1 Demise as well. On the other side of the map, Solurs finds a kill against Xysho, and INZEM will be able to get the snipe. At this moment, Hndles did a good job staying alive, but we'll see if INZEM can make the play for a squad. They will have, I think, double shocks, and they got an opportunity of getting the frag grenades. No way he doesn't know that.
Ooh, I really love that play call, by the way, when I believe it was Hndles. As soon as they got that first kill down bottom, even before Xysho was cleaned up, Hndles was boogieing it out of the middle of the map. He was like, Xysho, you get a kill, good for you, brother, but I'm gone. I'm out. The scene.
I'm staying alive.
I'm
gonna keep the man advantage for the squad.
I was gonna say that keeps the man advantage, because even when they trade out Xysho, it's still 3v2 over there now.
And a bow.
And they got the bow. That's beautiful little nuances, little communication things that can put your team ahead in rounds like this, when you can get that kind of call off and say, hey, look, we need you to be safe here. We need you to play your life. Or Hndles even makes that call on his own and says, I'm not giving up this extra chance. Smoke is out by Solurs. It'll clog up the sight line directly in front of him. It looks like Solurs might play into the backside of the tomb. He gets the kill onto Xysho because he baits Xysho into the tomb fight. I really think that Xysho got baited out there. That is not a great play by him. Acells down to meat shield. Precision's trying to bait the play out by TJ. Gets the double shot down. Precision in a 3v1 now. Look at all 3 of them line up the lane. Did you see all 3 of them pull up?
Yeah. They stopped. They say, are you going to push or not? Okay, they stopped their tracks, and you saw it. Precision even knew in a moment, like, man, you guys showed me that much respect. I'm happy that I've earned that. Okay, I'm happy that I've earned all that respect from you guys. And rightfully so. You don't want to get into his one-shot range. You got the sniper. You got the lancers. Just angle them out. All right, let's see how we're going to head into this round. When we were watching the Torque fight, I believe that it was it was 2 rounds ago. We saw the double downs when we, saw it from Hive's point of view coming from this side. But Precision actually cuts back a little bit towards the Acells. He plays his position a little bit more passively. They may try to bait out TJ in that Torque Bow. They can't get him. But Acells, they did shift over there towards the mid-map to get these kills. Beautiful fadeaway shot there from INZEM. He's able to group up. The bow connects on the player in the back, though. That's the difference. He moves in for the close range battle, misses 3 shots. It was a great effort, but in the end, it's going to be a Hive round 1. And so far, the Torque Bow has been their saving grace.
They keep winning the bottom side of the map, and it is putting a lot of pressure on the players on the top side, especially Xysho. Xysho, I think, needs to be a little bit smarter there against Solurs. Every round, Solurs is outplaying him, and
Let's check him out.
This is one of those situations where Solurs has made some great play calls, whether it be playing inside of the tomb, being able to throw the smoke and clog the sightline so that Xysho doesn't know where he rotates. Solurs still has, I believe he switched back over to the flash. He switched back over to the flash. So they're baiting out the secondary push. There's the smoke out. He goes inside of the tomb. He's a little red, not definitively.
I love that.
He just keeps baiting you, Xysho. My friend, I love you as a human. Stop being an idiot.
Body shot there from Solurs. Precision gets taken out. Acells gets taken out. And this is looking like it's going to be another Hive round 1. And, you know, you saw Solurs running up there to that snipe, as Colin said, to bait out Xysho. I'll tell you one thing. You know how you know Solurs is an old school player? With all the swarm characters we got, he's still rocking Elite, okay? He still got Elite out there. People used to hate Elite. I know, me personally, man, I'd rather go shirtless over Elite, but we didn't have that many Locust characters back in the day. Anywho.
Of course you'd go shirtless. I've been seeing him gym update pictures. God, good God Almighty! If you showed up shirtless, I'd just leave. I'd just leave.
Colin, now coming back to this 1v1 fight, Xysho does not have to even push in there, right?
No,
he doesn't want to give up that position to Solurs. But as long as Solurs isn't getting a snipe, he's okay. But Xysho really wants to get in there and fight off that mark. I love his shot grenade, and this time he chose to get the shot early on in this round so he can bring it to the fight.
And
but that shot grenade isn't going to get him no down. It's kind of short, and he can't even help his
Hndles goes down to the bottom middle.
Hndles got tagged up by Solurs.
This is a big misplay in a lot of different situations for Vanquish. It's a 2v2 situation, but I was about to say the same thing in Control, and I hesitated, and I probably shouldn't have hesitated because Vanquish had to come back to win it after how dominant Hive was in the early goings. I've never seen a team open the door so many times to lose. Like, please beat me and still not already be beaten. It is 4-2. Vanquish continuously puts themselves in some weird, awkward fights, but they just cannot come away with a victory here. Frags are out now, being thrown at Acells. Acells is going to try to bounce up into the face of INZEM. INZEM can play that back and play that defensively. Precision is playing in no man's land. Man is on Gilligan's Island while your teammate is getting pushed.
He's just hanging out. We'll see if, especially where this hill pops up, if it's going to be at least towards mid-map. Ooh, he has that sniper to deal with as well. Now, after the way that these last few rounds have been breaking out, Colin, I honestly think the best strategy for VQ is to play deep man-on-man here towards the middle and heavily stack that Torque Bow. Okay, just don't worry so much about the snipe and that aggression coming here from mid-map. Let Xysho use that shot grenade to buy his teammates some time, and just trust Precision and Acells to get that first blood at the bow, because it hasn't been working out on this side of the map. And Solurs has a winning game plan, a winning strategy with him and INZEM over here.
Vanquish, if you wanted to lose, you could have forfeited. You didn't need to put us through 5 maps of this. Like, this is almost torturous for Vanquish fans out here. To Hive, congratulations to them. They played much better tonight than they did last night, but my God. My God.
Dang, just when it comes down towards these round-based game modes, and where Hive is able to have this breather round after round, gather the intel, come up with better strategies, the initial fights for the power weapons, they are so strong. That's where they've been kind of beating Vanquish. Now, as this is kind of got to spread out into man-on-man across the board, Xysho was able to make it inside at the underpass before Solurs this round.
I was going to say,
but that's a good start for VQ.
Did you see what Solurs did?
No, what'd he do?
He didn't push into him. He said, all right, you got the pillar. I'll back up. You got the positioning. I don't need this. I don't need this fight at all.
He didn't care, right? Now, on the flip end, he's pressing him now.
Because they got the shot from TJ across the middle of the map. as Xysho pushed up to that corner, he got hit 3 times with a Lancer, and Solurs knows at that point he can pretty much push and get for a one-hit Aquita.
Yeah, he can play straight out though. It's a shot for shot.
Hndles has to hold him in that cover. You have to hold him down now. You can't come out.
You hold this right the whole time. As long as everybody else got 1v1s, you're okay. Unless Acells calls that you can get a Chris towards his top side of the map across. Now he needs to go. His teammate lost the fight. Beautiful back A from Hndles, 2v2. But Precision's going to get jumped at the bottom end. Hndles has to go big with the snipe if his squad wants a chance.
Comes Hndles going to the top side of the map. The hill will spawn up there this time, I think. 7 on bottom, middle, top, bottom, middle, top, bottom. So it's going to be bottom. So this is round 7. It'll be bottom.
All right.
They can wait over here with all 5 bolts. I mean, he has to come into this fight with frags, 2 fragmentation grenades, and 8 shots. 2 frag grenades and 8 shots to win this.
He needs a body first. He don't even gonna have time. Actually, his first nade will split them. Oh yeah. Too late. He lost.
He put the nades away. He put the nades away.
Why did he not want to use the nades? Why did he not toss it? Has he not been in that situation before? Probably not. We don't see this side of VQ, but we love to see this side of Hive. They come out victorious. Solurs was the MVP. Almost dropped the 9K there in that map, but because of his aggression, his consistent aggression at the sniper, as well as TJ's performance down low at the bow and Demise and INZEM filling in the gaps and being some awesome support for him. Hive, they get a 6-2 victory in map number 5 and get Vanquish their 2nd loss of the Pro League. And, you know, it's a great victory for the Hive fans out there. I'm happy for them. I'm happy we went to the map 5 and they beat VQ like that. We were just hoping to see more of a better fight from Vanquish, you know? And they did fight. They won some big battles, but they looked like a shell of themselves.
I mean, they made bad decisions, terrible pushes, horrendous team fights, ugly shotgun fights. I mean, I can't think of many more adjectives to describe bad when it came to anything that was a reset round, a reset spawn mode. Because right now, they were able to out-battle Hive in a lot of situations, in a ton of situations late in controls to solidify the 2 control maps. But every single initial just played to perfection by Hive, especially right there in the middle of the map. I cannot, the MVP of this map, I don't care who had the best stats, the MVP of this map number 5 was Solurs.
He had the best stats.
Solurs, to me, the way that he was able to control that mid fight over the long shot and basically either first blood or kill Xysho almost every round. Like, he was able to pressure out one player from Vanquish every single round. I mean, that is an undeniable advantage that you give yourself if you make it a 4v3 to start every round based on how smart or how good somebody is playing.